Otter retriever, yeah.
I have to say, Otter, that is a name you would not hear up north. I think that's pretty much a sort of south of the Mixon line.
Or if you're a raft guy.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, Pacific Northwest, maybe.
There's a lot of folks up north.
I don't think that's southern.
Samantha's my trainer. She couldn't come tonight because she's busy training.
She's busy doing what she's doing, right?
She's fabulous.
I wish I could.
Hi, Stella.
That's really bushy hair.
You guys have got to sign this style next year. He's not starting here.
His book comes out.
Is he awesome on stage?
Yeah.
Almost.
And then once you're here, you'll start hearing it a lot more.
Yeah.
You'll start hearing how got his pro license last year. So you get top it's not hard to do. Is it octave? Is it yeah. We got seven.
Okay. All right. I'm just getting it signed. So as soon as you get it here, I'm getting it. All right. This is for this gentleman.
Hello, gentlemen.
My name's Jason, but my best friend's name's Greg, my college roommate. He's a huge fan. He freaked out when I told him where I was at. He's an ultra-marathon runner and Ironman triathlete. He loves everything about it.
Good deal. It's pretty kind of you giving the book.
It inspired me to be an ultra runner so I can go meet the guys.
Okay. So you go, you see the big guys? So this is to Alyssa.
Alyssa Dona.
I'll just put Alyssa. Is that right?
That's fine. I got my first marathon under my belt. Me too. That one is very fun. Yes.
I took away the post-it note too soon.
Is this to you, Alyssa?
Maybe I think it's
Coming out today, you guys are really fortunate to have in your midst great Dreyer, the creator of Chi Running. To take this runaway horse by the reins and actually give us a little bit of direction. So what Danny's going to do while I'm out in this barefoot running or anything like that, or even level shoes, okay? It's really important if you're new to this stuff to take your time, take a lot of time, and listen to your body, because your body will be able to tell you when it's time to keep progressing. Okay, so if you take off on a run and you come back with totally bruised bottoms of your feet and stuff, that's your body telling you you already went too far. Okay? So you really want to listen to your body and let it inform you of how quickly to upgrade. So you might run, once around this track, and that might be it for the first day. Okay, but then the next time you come out, you might run once around, then walk a little bit, and then take another little spin, and just play back and forth between running in these minimal shoes and then going back to your regular shoes for a little bit, and then put these on. You might walk around with these all day, so at least your feet start strengthening the ligaments, tendons around your ankles. Okay, because that's what these minimal shoes really do, is they help you to feel the ground underneath you, and that's the beauty of barefoot running. That's why it's so good, is because it really allows your feet to really start educating your body how to move. Okay. You can learn it through the Chi Running book, you can learn it through a million different kinds of books, but the best way to learn it is in your body, to feel it, to try it. run uphill. What doesn't feel right? What does feel right? Okay, so we're going to go up a trail up here, and as we head up the hill, some of you who are not used to running very steep hills in minimal shoes will feel your Achilles tendon really start pulling. The first tendency is to get up on the balls of your feet. Well, this might not be the most efficient way to use your leg muscles, but eventually, as you get used to running with less impact on the ground, with a little bit shorter stride, your body will adjust to being able to run this way. Okay, so, but take your time, that's the biggest thing. As you run in more minimal shoes, your body will start correcting itself. Your posture will get better, your foot strike on the ground will get better, because with all these, what we call them as big bulky shoes, the normal running shoes, they've been around for 40 years. What happens with all those really high-heeled shoes is that it desensitizes your body to the impact you're creating on the ground. So a lot of people with high-heeled sneakers, end up heel striking because they can't feel their heels strike the ground. Okay? And when you lead with your leg, there's a tendency to heel strike. When you run upright, there's a tendency to heel strike. So as you shift to a more minimal shoe or barefoot running, your body naturally feels what it feels like. If you're heel striking, you really feel it. There's no protection there. Okay? So that makes your body shift in its balance point to a little bit further forward. Go into a lean like you had when you were a kid. Everybody here ran with a lean as a kid. Okay, and then as you get to be an adult, the ground gets a little further away. So, you don't want to end up doing a face plant, so you end up running upright. That changes your whole physics as you're running. So, the best thing to do is just keep your posture really tall. Let yourself fall forward and let yourself land on the middle of your foot. As your upper body leads, your foot naturally lands a little more underneath you instead of out in front of you. Everybody see that difference? You want to stay ahead of your feet. Okay? Don't step past your knee. Don't step past your knee. When I'm running, I don't step past my knee. If you're a heel striker or an overstrider, you're going to step past your knee. See that? Okay, so don't ever step past your knee. There's real easy rules. Stand tall, lean forward, don't step past your knee. Okay? And don't step on anything sharp. Okay? That's a given. All right? The other thing it does is that wearing these minimal shoes makes you pay more attention. That's really the beauty of it. You pay more attention to what's happening with your running, to what's happening with the terrain, to what you're about to step on, to how your body is positioned. But that's all coming from the sensitivity of your body talking to you. Okay? So we have, in Chi running, we have lots of local classes. We have a bunch of local instructors and stuff like that. So you can learn this one of a couple of ways. You can just go out and be an experiment of one. Okay, and learn it gradually and slowly, just see how your body adjusts to this, or you can come to a class, or you can read a book, or all of that stuff. There's lots of ways to learn this, but the main thing is learn it slowly, and really learn how to be sensitive to your body. If it's too much, your body will say so. If the impact is too hard, your body will tell you, because your knee will start to hurt, or your hip will start to hurt. Something will, there'll be some kind of discomfort or pain. Well, that's your body talking to you. Okay? If you wear big bulky shoes, your body can't speak as well. It's like, it's got like a gargon, It won't be able to tell you how hard you're hitting the ground, all the torque's going on in your leg. Without that, without that accessory, you really do get to feel what it feels like to run really freely, easily. I just got through running the Boston Marathon last week, and in the 2 days before the marathon, I was lucky enough to be doing my, warm-up runs down by the Charles River, and I got to see the Kenyans getting ready for their race. That's the last time I saw them. Oh yeah, I passed some Kenyans today, going the other way, right? Okay, but they were beautiful to watch. I was watching two women doing sprints across the grass, and effortless, just beautiful, lean, legs long out the back. It's just their body is so used to feeling what it feels like to run right.
The Tarahumara Indians are used to running every day, running back and forth between villages, going to do an errand, whatever. You know, they have that in their body, and they have those little minimal shoes, enough to protect their feet. Okay, so that's just the basics. Pay attention, shorten your stride. Okay, shorten your stride. So when we go up this trail, how many people have been up in this trail system here? If you're going with us, you are in for a really beautiful surprise and a very unknown thing about Asheville. This is a beautiful trail system completely surrounded by the city, and it's probably about 8 miles of trails. So if you didn't know it was there, today you will, and you'll be able to see it, and it's really gorgeous up there. Just don't take your mountain bike, okay? So it's for runners and walkers and dogs and things like that. When we take off from here, we're going to do a kind of a warm-up on the road heading up to the trail, so that'll give you kind of accentuated into the uphill. And then once we get up in there, we'll be going a little further up the road, and then it'll be a bunch more rolling up and down. So we'll try to go slowly enough. I'm sure there'll be groups that break off, guys that want to run faster, whatever. But generally, I can be leading. Will Harlan can be taking a second group. And anybody else who really knows the trails, you're welcome to just take a group so that it's not a big, long, train of humans going with it. There's enough people here to take up about a quarter mile of trail. Okay, so you're all welcome to come. If you get behind or lost or anything, the sun is to the west, so you want to head back over this way. Thank him for really, I've been a salmon swimming upstream for 12 years now, trying to convince people that there's a different way to do all this. And then he comes along, writes a book, and all of a sudden he switches the whole industry. Right? But it was really important, a well-done book and a great
fellow
story.
salmon you got now.
Yeah, now we got some fellow salmon, so thank you for changing the tide, and I really appreciate it. Your book really has had a huge effect on that, and in influencing people, because it's not just a good read, it's informational. It actually has some good stuff in it, But it's really, I love it that it's changed so many minds, It's really, really good. So I thank you for that. That's really great.
Thank you. Did you introduce Scott and Eric Gordon, who are also here?
No, well, let's introduce them. I want everybody to see those guys. Where's Scott?
How can you not see Scott?
Here.
Oh, all right, there we go. So the other people here today are Scott Jurek, your 7-time Western States Ultramarathon champion. Eric Gordon. Where's Eric? Eric Gordon over here. Eric Gordon is a guy who I showed up and said, look, I'm busted down. I can't run anymore. I'm done. And he said, we can change that. I didn't believe him. This whole book is an exercise in me saying he's full of shit. Just putting what he says to the test. And he proved me wrong. So these guys will also be talking tonight and also running with us. So if I were you personally, I would grab on to any one of these guys, stick right next to them, and learn as much as you can just by running alongside them. Yeah, and also Will Harlan too. Will, you want to
I lived in California. I raced in a lot of the same ultras that Scott was in, but the only time I got to see him was on the out and backs. It's great. He comes smoking by me the other way when I was about halfway through.
Yeah, Will Harlan, who's basically won the race of every sick mountain within a 30-mile radius. So, great guys, cool. Should we set out?
Great. Do it. We're going to take it slow, do a warm-up to start with, and then just gradually work our way up the hills. Go, Charlie. Come on, man.
Are they starting here? Are they walking
somewhere? No, they're walking somewhere else.
Well, let's follow them a bit. See if we can get them when they start out running. If they're not.
Okay. Yay! All right. Woohoo! Yay! Hello. Hey, I'm Amy. We are so excited. Would you like to have a run study like this?
That's actually. Is it Scott?
Yeah.